What's up everybody, Brian Tong here, and look around me. I am surrounded by a whole bunch of Govee lights. This is part of their 2025 campaign to bring color to your daily life. Yes, this is a sponsored video, but what I'm gonna show you is how to use these in practical ways to transform your rooms, really enhance how they feel. We have things like the Floor Lamp Pro over here. We've got some cool strip lighting with the Strip Light Pro. Something up top here, like their Ceiling Light Pro. And there's different ways that you can layer and combine light to really bring new details and bring atmosphere. And you know, when I'm at home, I like to spice it up, make it look cool and everything. But I do want to show you one room in my home that probably needs the most help, and this is our guest room, okay? And so what happens is when friends or family come over, this is the room that they stay in. But if you look at it, this is as generically white as you can possibly get. There is nothing on the walls. There's what? Just a few little like bed stands. So what I'm hoping to do is maybe take something like the floor lamps and put in the corner, put a little accent lighting, maybe even change this up on top. We're gonna play around and try and create a whole new different mood and vibe and do a few other things around the house. So instead of me talking, let's get to it. Okay, first up is the Ceiling Light Pro, and I'm not the biggest handyman, but I had to jump up on that bed, disconnect and unscrew the original light. But you know the cool thing, all the wiring, even actually the brackets were there for me to get up high, screw in the base plate, and then put in the unit. This, you're gonna see this happen in 10 seconds. It took longer than that, but we got it done. It wasn't hard, it was just balancing myself. But once we had it on, we flipped on the lights, and voila, it works. So we got our ambient light here for this room, ready to roll. Next up, let's get some accent lighting here, and this is along that top edge of the back wall. We're gonna use the COB Light Strip Pro, so it takes some time to measure out the distance of it. You do have the ability to actually trim and cut off a segment of it. That allows you to then have the right length depending on the size of your room. But you pull off the adhesive, push it against that wall, connect the power, and then launch the app to pair and sync it, and voila, we've got our accent lighting. I have this Govee app open right now, so let's go to Welcome to Govee Home. No devices found. Let's see if we can add a device here. And you can see right away it sees the Ceiling Light Pro, so I'm gonna add that. Okay, so now it looks like it's connecting the app to the light, so we'll give it a few moments. Connecting. Okay, let's call it Guest Room Ceiling Light, because that's where we're putting this in, okay? Okay, we're gonna connect it to my Wi-Fi here. Okay, so it sees the light, we are connected up here, and now I can do a few different things. Obviously, I can change how bright it is. Right now it's 100%. I can turn it down, let's say something to 50, and you'll see that light change, right? So you have that control through the app. Also, there's different colors here as well. Color temperature-wise, I can go to something maybe a little warmer if I wanted to, but production-wise, right, you kind of keep that the bluer light, that's a little too much, but we'll put it right in the center there. And then I can do different colors. So you know me, I love my purples with this color wheel. Let's see what it looks like over here. Oh, that's a dark purple. Let's lighten it up a little. Let's go to maybe something like an aqua bluish color. And you can see how this totally changes the mood of the room. Warmer colors tend to be a little more kind of relaxing, more cool colors, a little bit of meditation. I'm gonna get back into the middle there. Also, there's different options here. You have scenes, and these are preset color scenes that you can kind of find a vibe or energy. So let's try something like this. What's this one called? Aurora. This is graffiti, and if you look up at the light, you can see how, look at, it's even actively morphing and changing. So really, when you talk about like creating emotion and energy with this light, this is what it can do. Really cool stuff. And then if you want to add a little accessory, how about the Govee Table Lamp 2 Pro? To me, this looks like the lava lamp of the future, but even cooler, this is a speaker, right? So I can sync it, I can listen to music on it. It has different lighting effects, just like all of Govee's light products do. Now this room is a little smaller, but we also wanted to add a little more lighting on the corner. So this is where the Floor Lamp Pros come in handy. This does take a little time to assemble. It's basically 4 segments. You have to screw them in with 4 little screws, all right? Get that then attached to the base, then put the actual LED light strip in the back side of it. But once you set them in place, you can see how they really end up filling this room even more on both sides of the bed. And we're gonna use these in different rooms. All right, everybody, so you can tell we have completely transformed this room from what it was before and to what it is now. It feels different, it looks different, and I love everything we've done, right? We have the table lamp, we have the floor stand pros, the accent lighting up here on the ceiling I think really pops, and you obviously have the Ceiling Light Pro as well. What we can also do here though is just fun is that within the app, there's options where these lights can actually hear the sound in the room. And what I mean by that is that you can set it to music and everything will be popping. You can be a little calmer, but it reacts to the sounds around you as well. And you can do that in the app. Another thing here, you look, this Floor Stand Pro, you don't have to have it like this black, maybe it doesn't look the best in this all white room. It might look somewhere better in somewhere else, but I'm just gonna rotate this because I kind of like the light coming out this way instead. It looks better to me, but there's also a lot of other ways that we can use this. So we're gonna take this Floor Stand Pro with us to another room and show you what other things you can do. All right, so I'm taking the Floor Stand Pros with me from the bedroom, and I figured let's set this up in maybe more of a living room, home entertainment setup. So I'm gonna pop this guy right over here. We will reposition these a little better in a sec. All right, and I'm gonna take this guy and bring it over on this side. So we can already imagine how it's gonna fill the light up on the sides of this TV set. But what's really cool here is I've never set this thing up. This is the Govee TV Backlight 3 light. And what you can see here is there's a camera element that is up top here. It will see what's on the TV screen and then fill that out with similar colors. You can see how it expands the entire backlight. So I've never set up anything like this, but let's give it a spin. So this is completely new to me. We open up the box to just see what's inside. This setup is gonna be probably the most involved out of any of them, but we have the camera unit that's gonna go on the center of the TV. Then we can see the actual long light strip that is wheeled up around, so you have to unwind that as well. You can see there's different areas where there's skinny parts, where that's where the corners go on the TV as you wrap it around, where you have the thicker parts where are the actual lights. So trust me, this takes some time, and also luckily for me, I'm a small guy. I can crawl behind my TV. I can put it up against, you had to try a little different options of where to actually center this perfectly. It will take some time. So after all that hard work, yes, crawling in the back, we have this all set up. We also want to let you know that we did do the calibration. This system is really meant for 55 to 65 inch size TVs. This is a 77 inch. We did our best, so I'm sure it's gonna be okay, but we want to at least let you know that. But let's just see what video looks like with this now. All right, so we have our entire setup here. You see the floor lamp pros on the side. Yes, it's really colorful. I don't know if I'd use the floor lamps all the time, but I think what you really saw is with the Govee TV Backlight 3 light, really it pops. It does bring movies to life. I think it really shines with animated movies. They're very bright and vibrant. With movies that are a little more realistic like Top Gun, maybe the effects are a little more subtle and that's okay. But I think if you really want to feel like you're part of like in this other world, animated movies that are bright and popping really excel. But I'm actually pretty impressed with how it reacts, how it looks. Again, this is a 77 inch TV, larger than what it's technically made for, but it did just fine, and it looks great. All right, we have shown you a few different ways to layer light in my house in the bedroom. We showed you ambient lighting. We did that cool accent lighting. Well, here we're gonna show you task lighting. And this is described as, think of functional areas in your home where you use lighting. It could be a chair with a reading lamp, or here in the kitchen, I'm gonna actually outfit this with the COB Light Strip Pro along this edge, because at night, sometimes you wake up or it's late and you wanna get a snack, you wanna toast something, you wanna chop something up. So we're gonna set this up right here. So we're no stranger here to the COB Strip Light Pro. Again, what you expect, put it up, measure it out, right? Really feel how much you need. And then there are different markings on that light that allow you to cut it off so it fits the space you want. Then pull the adhesive, stick it up against the edge, and voila, the COB Strip Light Pro does exactly what I want it to do. So yes, we have everything set up, and I know you've seen a lot of colorful ways we're using Govee lights because yeah, that's the whole theme here. But look, this is functional light, so I want to do something a little different. I'm going to go into the app here, and I'm going to go here to color, and obviously I want to use this as white light, so I'm going to select that, and you can see the light changes. But this is a kitchen. I think during daylight it's a little warmer tone, so I'm going to bring that down to just a little warmer color. You can see it change, and maybe lower the intensity just a little bit so it's not as popping. But this is more something that I could see myself at night, right? I'm coming to get a snack, I grab a little orange here, right? And then this light is here, and I can just see what I'm doing. The entire place is dark, and I've got my snacks, man. Who doesn't love a nice orange? I do. All All right, so we have now basically Govee'd a whole bunch of different areas of my home. So let's break down everything we did. And we're gonna start here with functional lighting, okay? This is the COB Strip Light Pro. And you can obviously imagine how that has changed, how I can use my kitchen. Late at night, just isolate that area. It's a personalized space for me where I can cook and you make some rice over there. That's a killer spot. Then we come over to the living room. We've got 2 of the floor lamp pros here flanking this TV, but probably my favorite, most innovative thing here is this new Govee TV Backlight 3 light. Why is it special? Again, it complements what you see on screen with complementary colors, fills out the space. It's a really cool backlight effect, and when you see explosions or action with animation and things like that, it really pops off the screen there. So we have that area, love that. But then let's go to our guest room. This is where we first started, and remember, the guest room was completely white. It wasn't very interesting at all, but we have completely now outfitted it, given it a little personality here. We start off with the Ceiling Light Pro up top. That's your ambient light to fill out the room. Then we have accent lighting here, right? This is again a COB Strip Light Pro up on the top. I think this really adds a whole lot to the room. And then we have something here like the Table Lamp 2 Pro. This is also a music speaker with JBL sound. So I'm gonna get comfortable here, hang out in this room, and just tell you a few other things that are gonna be important to you about this space, right? If you're wondering about compatibility, yes, all these lights are compatible with the Google Home platform. They're also compatible with Amazon's Alexa platform. So you are all taken care of right there. Then also, in case you didn't know, these are Matter compatible. So what that means is that it is not natively compatible with Apple HomeKit, but the Matter platform is compatible with Apple's Home platform. So that will enable you to use those here as well. Overall, the setup here, I think you saw the manual labor that I had to do. I had to reach up top for the Ceiling Pro. I had like particles dropping in my face. I had to crawl behind my TV to get the whole backlight set up and then reach under the counter. I mean, there is gonna be some manual effort here, but the actual app, all the devices were able to sync really easily. You can control them, and I think I still have a lot more to play with on the app itself, but that setup was really easy. But overall, it's really taken my house and different rooms and areas to a fun place. Some of these lights, I mean, I love the effects, really innovative, and just a fun way to give a little flavor to my homes. And Govee's lighting isn't just about fun. You got the combination of white and colored lighting that creates different spaces for relaxation, helping people like me to recharge mentally through customizable smart lighting. So if you want to find out more about all these products, thank you to Govee, who has sponsored this video. There's a link in the description. If you want to get more Govee, I think I might Govee up another level. Govee!